first of all, I'm not dating Kevin Costner.
Would you like to?
I've known Kevin Costner for probably 30 years, and I think if we haven't dated so far, we're probably not going to.
Sharon Stone is a symbol of strength and a face of timeless beauty. From small-town roots to Hollywood legend, her rise was unforgettable. An icon who defined an era, admired for her talent and her fearlessness. But now at 70, Sharon Stone faces a heartbreaking reality that Hollywood never prepared her for. And the whispers about what she's enduring now have left fans shocked and desperate to know the truth. Sharon Von Stone was born on March 10, 1958, in Meadville, Pennsylvania, a small industrial town where the smell of steel and oil was as common as the sound of church bells. Her father, Joseph Stone, worked in a tool and die factory, the kind of job that left permanent marks on a man's hands, and her mother, Dorothy, was the steady heart of the home, keeping 4 children, Sharon, her brothers Michael and Patrick, and her sister Kelly in line and on schedule. Even as a child, Sharon didn't blend into the background. At just 5 years old, she was already reading and writing with the skill of someone years older. Teachers saw her potential immediately, and by the time she started school, she skipped the first grade entirely. She excelled academically, pulling in straight A's, and there was a self-possession about her, a quiet confidence that hinted she was headed for something bigger than Meadville. In her teenage years, she turned her focus toward beauty pageants. For Sharon, the appeal wasn't just about winning a crown, it was about the opportunities they could open. The scholarship money mattered. And she didn't just compete, she won, earning the title of Miss Crawford County. That win was her first taste of public recognition, and it hinted at what might be possible if she pushed beyond the limits of her small hometown. After high school, Sharon attended Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania, majoring in creative writing and fine arts. It was a path that seemed safe and sensible, but destiny intervened in the form of a beauty pageant trip to New Jersey. There, one of the judges, a modeling agent, pulled her aside. He told her she had the potential to work in New York. It was a tempting offer, but it wasn't a simple decision. Her mother had reservations, concerned about the dangers and unpredictability of big city life. But Sharon was sure. She wanted more than Meadville could offer. Soon after, she packed her bags and moved to Manhattan. New York in the late 1970s was chaotic, gritty, and alive. Sharon signed with Ford Models, one of the most prestigious agencies in the country. Almost immediately, she began landing work. National campaigns for Clairol, Revlon, and Maybelline put her face in magazines and on billboards. She was earning good money, living independently, and stepping into a glamorous world that was a universe away from her Pennsylvania upbringing. And yet, modeling wasn't enough for her. Sharon didn't just want to be the face of a product. She wanted to act. She wanted the challenge of becoming different people, telling stories, commanding an audience. So she began studying acting and auditioning for roles. Her first break came in 1980 when she was cast in Woody Allen's Stardust Memories. It was a small role, barely a flicker on the screen, but it was her first taste of life on a movie set. She liked it, and she wanted more. Over the next few years, she slowly but surely made a name for herself with roles in movies like Deadly Blessing, directed by Wes Craven, in 1981, Irreconcilable Differences in 1984, King Solomon's Mines in 1985, and the fun action comedy Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol in 1987. On television, she appeared in episodes of Magnum, P.I., Remington Steele, T.J. Hooker, and The Fall Guy. The roles were often small, the paychecks were modest, but Sharon kept going. She had a reputation for being hardworking, professional, and willing to do whatever it took to make a role work, qualities that didn't go unnoticed. Finally, in 1990, her life changed forever. But how? Did she finally land a breakthrough role? Absolutely. That year, she stepped into Paul Verhoeven's sci-fi blockbuster Total Recall. As Laurie, the deceptively sweet wife of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, who is revealed to be a ruthless operative, Sharon delivered a performance that was sharp, sexy, and dangerous. Critics and audiences alike took notice, but Total Recall was just the warm-up. 2 years later, Verhoeven cast her in a role that cemented her place in pop culture forever and ignited one of the most controversial moments in film history. Paul knew she had the presence and nerve to pull off Catherine Trammell, a character equal parts mystery, danger, and allure. But it was not an easy role to land. The studio had considered other actresses, and the character was so sexually charged and morally ambiguous that many turned it down. Sharon didn't. She wanted it. She understood the power of the role and the risk. And she was right. When Basic Instinct hit theaters, it became a cultural event. The film followed a brutal murder investigation, with Sharon's Catherine Trammell at the center, a crime novelist whose manipulations kept both the audience and the characters guessing. The interrogation scene, in particular, where Catherine, without warning, uncrosses and recrosses her legs, became one of the most infamous moments in cinema history. That scene also sparked controversy. Sharon later revealed that she hadn't been told the full nature of the shot. She had been assured the scene would not reveal anything explicit, but when she saw the film at a screening, she realized how much was visible. She was furious, confronting Verhoeven afterward. In her memoir years later, she wrote about that moment in detail, calling it a violation of her trust. Despite the backlash, the film catapulted her into superstardom. She was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress, and Basic Instinct grossed over $350 million worldwide. Overnight, Sharon Stone became both an icon and a lightning rod for debates about sexuality, power, and representation in film. The years that followed were a mix of high-profile projects and mixed receptions. She starred in Sliver, another erotic thriller, this time opposite William Baldwin. While it performed moderately well at the box office, critics were less enthusiastic. Still, Sharon's status as a sex symbol and as an actress unafraid of provocative roles remained intact. In 1994, she took on The Specialist, playing opposite Sylvester Stallone. The film delivered action, explosions, and steamy romance, but again, reviews were lukewarm. The following year, however, would bring her most critically acclaimed performance. Martin Scorsese cast her as Ginger McKenna in Casino, alongside Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. Ginger was a complex role, combining glamour, manipulation, vulnerability, and ultimately tragedy. Sharon threw herself into the part, delivering a performance that critics praised as career-defining. It earned her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. It was proof that Sharon Stone was more than just a screen siren. She could hold her own with some of the greatest actors in the world and thrive under the direction of a master like Scorsese. Around this time, Sharon also appeared in Diabolique, a remake of the French classic, and Last Dance, a death row drama. Neither film reached the critical or commercial heights of Casino, but she remained in demand. In 1998, she starred in Sphere, a sci-fi thriller with Dustin Hoffman and Samuel L. Jackson. Despite its star-studded cast, the film underperformed at the box office. Sharon's career was in an unpredictable phase, still landing leading roles, but with projects that didn't always match the success of her earlier hits. Then, in 2001, her life changed in a far more personal way. Did she finally decide to settle down with someone? Or was she simply tired of all the Hollywood drama? It was neither. Sharon suffered a massive brain hemorrhage, a stroke that left her fighting for her life. For 9 days, she experienced bleeding in her brain. The recovery was long, painful, and uncertain. Her recovery was grueling. The stroke impaired her speech and memory, things many take for granted, and she had to relearn how to communicate and walk properly. Despite this, Sharon stayed focused on healing. She embraced physical therapy and cognitive exercises, pushing herself daily. The process was painfully slow, and some days felt like setbacks rather than progress. During this time, Sharon also took stock of what really mattered. She found strength in her family and friends, many of whom rallied around her. Though Hollywood had moved on, she wasn't ready to give up her identity as an actress or public figure. In interviews, she later described how close she came to dying, and how the experience reshaped her entire perspective on life. During her recovery, she stepped back from acting, allowing the Hollywood spotlight to fade as she focused on her health, her family, and humanitarian work. Yet she was not gone for good. The momentum she had built over 2 decades came to a sudden halt. For the first time since leaving Meadville, Sharon Stone was completely out of the spotlight. In an industry driven by relentless speed and short memories, Hollywood moved on to a new wave of stars, and her future in the business became uncertain. By 2003, Sharon was dipping her toes back into acting, starting with smaller, easier roles to get back into the swing of things. One of those was a guest spot on Law & Order: Criminal Intent. It wasn't the blockbuster stuff she was used to, but it sent a clear message. She was determined to take back her career. Slowly but surely, it paid off. Over the next few years, she appeared in indie films and TV projects that helped her rebuild confidence and sharpen her skills. It wasn't about jumping straight back to stardom. It was steady progress. Sharon wanted to prove to herself and everyone else that she was still a force to be reckoned with. Then in 2005, she made a big comeback with Basic Instinct 2, stepping back into the shoes of Catherine Trammell. The movie didn't hit the heights of the original, but just being able to carry a major film after everything she'd been through was a huge win. On top of acting, Sharon got real about her stroke experience and became an advocate for stroke awareness and research. She talked openly about what she went through, helping to break the silence around brain injuries and bringing much-needed attention to a topic that's often misunderstood. It gave her public image a whole new, powerful dimension. By the late 2000s, Sharon was back in full swing. She took on all kinds of roles, from dramas like Alpha Dog to popular TV shows like The L Word and Law & Order, SVU, showing off just how versatile she really is and reminding everyone why she's such a standout talent. Throughout this period, Sharon also received numerous accolades recognizing not only her acting, but her humanitarian work. Awards and honors came not only from Hollywood but from global organizations, acknowledging her courage and advocacy. The comeback wasn't just about career milestones, it was a personal triumph. Sharon Stone's journey from near death back to the spotlight was a testament to resilience, grit, and the refusal to let adversity define her. After her inspiring comeback, Sharon Stone's career evolved in exciting ways during the 2010s. She became more selective with her roles, seeking projects that resonated with her both artistically and personally. This decade showcased her maturity as an actress and her commitment to meaningful work. One standout was her critically acclaimed performance in the television series The Practice, and later The L Word. These roles allowed her to explore complex characters, often delving into emotional and psychological depths, that highlighted her growth since her blockbuster heyday. Sharon also embraced the changing landscape of entertainment, moving seamlessly between film, TV, and streaming platforms. This adaptability kept her relevant in an industry that constantly shifts. In 2013, she starred in Lovelace, a biographical film about the life of adult film star Linda Lovelace. Sharon's portrayal of a troubled mother was noted for its depth and nuance, proving her range extended well beyond her earlier femme fatale image. Aside from acting, Sharon Stone deepened her humanitarian work. She became an outspoken advocate for HIV/AIDS awareness, women's rights, and the fight against poverty. Through her foundation and various campaigns, she lent her voice and resources to global causes. Her activism earned her several humanitarian awards, cementing her legacy as more than just a screen star. One of the pivotal moments came in January 2025, when Sharon was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award by a major film festival. The award recognized not only her contributions to cinema, but also her resilience and humanitarian efforts over decades. It was a celebration of a life marked by triumph over adversity. Her personal life also saw moments of joy and challenge. Sharon maintained a strong connection with her family, often crediting them as her anchor. She was candid about the toll her health struggles had taken, but also shared stories of hope and renewal. Throughout these years, Sharon Stone remained a symbol of reinvention. Whether playing a sharp lawyer, a vulnerable mother, or a fierce advocate, she brought authenticity and passion to every role. Audiences admired her not just for her talent, but for her courage to evolve and confront life head-on. By the mid-2020s, Sharon had firmly re-established herself in Hollywood's elite, balancing career, activism, and personal growth. She used her platform to inspire others facing challenges, proving that setbacks could be springboards to even greater achievements. In the latter part of the 2010s and moving into the early 2020s, Sharon Stone's career and life continued to inspire. Her dedication to craft, combined with her humanitarian spirit, earned her numerous accolades, each recognizing a different facet of her remarkable journey. Throughout these years, Sharon accumulated a variety of awards that highlighted her impact both on-screen and off. Among these were honors from prestigious organizations acknowledging her artistic achievements and her work as a humanitarian. For instance, she received the Humanitarian Award from the Global AIDS Alliance, a testament to her passionate commitment to fighting the disease and supporting those affected. Her acting prowess was also celebrated. She garnered nominations and wins from critics' circles and film festivals for performances that demonstrated her depth and versatility. Each role seemed to reflect a more nuanced understanding of character, maturity, and emotional resonance than before. One of her proudest moments came in 2024, when she was recognized for her contribution to the arts and philanthropy at an international film gala. The event brought together luminaries from around the world to honor those who used their talents to make a positive impact. Sharon's speech was heartfelt, reflecting on her early days, the hurdles she overcame, and the causes close to her heart. Parallel to her career success, Sharon's philanthropic activities grew broader and deeper. She expanded her foundation's efforts to support women's education and health initiatives globally. She often spoke about empowerment, using her voice to encourage women to take charge of their lives and fight for equality. Her advocacy also extended into mental health awareness, where she shared her own experiences openly, breaking down stigmas and encouraging dialogue. This openness endeared her further to fans and activists alike, making her a beloved figure beyond the silver screen. In terms of her creative projects, Sharon remained selective but impactful. She collaborated with emerging filmmakers, often championing stories that highlighted underrepresented voices. This willingness to mentor and support fresh talent underscored her commitment to evolving the industry. Also, when it comes to family, it was as complex as her career on the big screen. Starting in the 1980s, Sharon's first serious relationship that the public knows about was with Michael Greenberg, a television producer. They met on the set of the Vegas Strip War in 1984, where he was producing and she was starring. It was a whirlwind romance. They got married that same year. Michael was also involved in her work as a line producer on Alan Quatermain and The Lost City of Gold in 1986. But as with many Hollywood relationships, things didn't last forever. The couple separated in 1987 and finalized their divorce in 1990. It was a tough chapter for Sharon, but she never lost her spirit. Around that time, she briefly dated comedian Gary Shandling, who was also a student of acting coach Roy London, the same teacher who had helped Sharon hone her craft. They met through their acting classes and hit it off, even working together on an episode of The Larry Sanders Show titled The Mr. Sharon Stone Show. Though their romantic relationship was brief, what stood out was the deep friendship they maintained over the years until Gary's passing in 2016. Their bond showed a different kind of love, one rooted in respect, support, and shared passion for their craft. Then in 1993, Sharon met William J. McDonald on the set of Sliver, a film he co-produced and she starred in. Their relationship was serious enough that McDonald left his wife for Sharon, and the two got engaged. But as life often throws curveballs, their engagement lasted only about a year. After their separation, Sharon made headlines when she sent back the engagement ring via FedEx, an act that spoke volumes about moving on and reclaiming her life. Shortly after, while filming The Quick and the Dead in 1994, Sharon became engaged again, this time to Bob Wagner, a first assistant director. Though this engagement didn't lead to marriage, it marked a period in her life full of trying to find stability amid the unpredictable whirlwind of Hollywood romances. The most public and longest-lasting marriage came on Valentine's Day 1998, when Sharon wed Phil Bronstein, a prominent journalist who was the executive editor of the San Francisco Examiner and later the San Francisco Chronicle. Their marriage was filled with hope and the promise of building a family together, but it also came with heartbreaking challenges. Sharon suffered several miscarriages caused by an autoimmune disease and endometriosis, health struggles that deeply affected her ability to have biological children. Yet Sharon's desire to be a mother remained strong. She and Phil adopted a son in 2000, a moment that brought joy and fulfillment. She often speaks about how much love adoption brought into her life, proving that family is defined by connection, not just biology. The couple later separated, with Bronstein filing for divorce in 2003. The divorce was finalized in 2004, and while custody arrangements granted Bronstein primary custody, Sharon maintained visitation rights and stayed actively involved in her son's life. Her family grew even more after that, with Sharon adopting 2 more sons in 2005 and 2006, creating a loving, bustling household of 3 boys. As of 2018, she's been raising her sons in West Hollywood, in a home once owned by actor Montgomery Clift, a place where the legacy of Hollywood blends with her own story of resilience and motherhood. Despite the very public nature of her relationships and marriages, Sharon has kept much of her family life private, shielding her children from the Hollywood spotlight whenever possible. She credits her family as her anchor, the source of strength that grounds her no matter what storms come her way. What's especially powerful about Sharon's story is how she has balanced the demands of a high-profile career with her role as a mother and partner. She openly discusses her struggles and setbacks, both romantic and medical, with a refreshing honesty that many find inspiring. She's shown that vulnerability and strength can coexist, and that life's challenges don't have to define or defeat you. Even after multiple marriages and relationships, Sharon maintains that friendship and love take many forms. Her enduring friendship with Gary Shandling is a beautiful example, reminding us that connections don't have to fit traditional molds to be meaningful and life-affirming. And beyond her immediate family, Sharon is deeply committed to causes close to her heart, often involving women's health and children's welfare, perhaps informed by her own journey with health challenges and motherhood. Her philanthropy is another dimension of her personal life that shows how she transforms personal experience into compassionate action. So while Sharon Stone is known worldwide as a daring actress and Hollywood icon, her personal life tells a story of love, loss, hope, and above all, resilience. It's a story that resonates because it's real, full of the messy, beautiful complexities that make us human. She's someone who has loved fiercely, struggled openly, and embraced motherhood with a devotion that's touched the lives of her sons and those around her. So, as of early 2025, Sharon Stone is pretty much seen as this amazing, tough icon. She's been through the crazy highs of fame and some really tough personal stuff, but she came out the other side stronger and with a lot of grace. Honestly, her story shows that it's never too late to reinvent yourself, and that real success means helping others along the way. What's cool is she's kept a good balance between her private life and what she shares with us. She's pretty open but always genuine, which is why fans really admire her, not just for her acting, but for how brave and kind she is. These days, she's not just a big Hollywood star anymore. She's more like this respected figure in the industry, someone people turn to for advice and insight. And even after all this time, her love for acting is still super strong. She keeps picking parts that challenge her and help her grow, whether it's in indie movies, TV, or even theater. You can really feel the honesty in her performances. Beyond acting, Sharon uses her voice to speak up about stuff that matters, like social justice, gender equality, and the environment. She's thoughtful about the causes she supports, which earned her a special shout-out in late 2024 from a big environmental group for her work on sustainability and climate awareness. Sharon also remains deeply committed to mentoring younger artists. She believes in nurturing talent with kindness and honesty, often sharing her own stories of setbacks and triumphs to inspire resilience. Many emerging actors credit her as a guiding influence in their careers. On a personal level, Sharon's been pretty open about how important it is to find balance, juggling work, family, and taking care of herself. She shared honestly about her health struggles and the pressures that come with fame, which has helped fans and the public see her in a more compassionate light. As this new decade kicks off, Sharon really stands out as a symbol of lasting strength. From her small-town roots to the whirlwind of superstardom, and now to a place where she's more focused on reflection and giving back, her journey shows just how strong she really is. Looking ahead, she's still going after projects that matter to her, while also growing her work in philanthropy. She's all about mixing art with activism, hoping to inspire some real positive change in the world. So, what do you think? Is Sharon Stone just Hollywood's ultimate femme fatale, a survivor who turned every challenge into a comeback, or something even more powerful? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you stuck around to the end of Sharon's incredible journey, you definitely deserve a standing ovation. Hit that like button like Sharon hit the red carpet, and don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable stories from Hollywood's wild side. While you're here, why not check out our other videos for more behind-the-scenes secrets, legendary moments, and the real stories Hollywood often keeps under wraps. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the brightest stars shine through the darkest storms.